Okay, we're going to be doing a movie review today. We didn't, during this time when there's two parts to it. The first one came out, we weren't reviewing, so we're going to be like referring back to part one of it. The first one is called Along with the Gods, The Two Worlds, and it has Cha Tae-hyun playing in this one. And then the second one, the second one that recently came out is Along with the Gods, The Last 49 Days. So we just recently finished the second one too. So they're both connected. So if you're gonna be watching like part two of it, The Last 49 Days, please watch the first one first, because it is connected and it will make more sense to you of what's gonna happen in part two.
It's very connected. Like deeply connected.
Yeah, so part one, it starts us off with Cha Tae-hyun. He's a fireman and he dies. He falls off a building and he dies. And there's three Grim Reapers, or the three guardians, who comes in and get him. The first one is Kang Im, and then the second one, this one, Hae Wok Mang is the second one, and then there's the girl, the shorter little girl, Lee Tok-chu. They come and get him. Yeah, they come and get him and they escort him into the afterlife, where they will defend him in 7 trials in 49 days to find out if he should be reincarnated again.
Yeah, so you find out that he is a paragon, I believe, and according to their lore, is paragons are people who shouldn't have to go through the trials and should automatically be able to reincarnate because they've qualified based off of certain requirements, either unwrongful death, or they lived their life as a good person.
Yeah.
So he
was supposed to just go through, but he ended up not passing because they said he's done some bad things in his life. So he ended up going through 7 trials, and he passes those 7 trials, then he can get reincarnated. And during the time of him going through those 7 trials, he got an evil spirit following him. Therefore, made it tougher for them to go through the trial. So they end up
they need to find out why.
Yeah, Kang Im end up splitting with them and leaving Cha Tae-hyun with the other 2 while he goes back into the human world to find out who is this evil spirit.
Right. And they find out that the evil spirit is his brother.
His younger brother.
Who
Soo-hong.
His name is Soo-hong, and he joined the military, and they find out that he was wrongfully murdered, essentially. So he terrorist because of that. Then Chang-ha-mai couldn't reincarnate.
Yeah, because him and his brother didn't connect well.
Yeah, there's a requirement that if you have an evil spirit that surrounds you, then they won't let you pass.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
So they needed to figure out why he has this evil spirit. And so basically back then, before Cha Tae-mai became, I'm sorry, I'm going to be calling him Cha Tae-mai. There's a reason why we call him that. But
credit to you, just
yeah. So there you go. So like before he became a fireman, his brother and him was living with their mom, and their mom was mute. And so basically things didn't turn out well for them.
Yeah,
and they're really poor, and the 2 brothers pretty much put the blame that it was the mom. So Cha Tae-mai goes, let's just kill our mom, and so we don't have to take care of her. And they were going to kill her, but he felt wrong to do that, and he ran. And so he ran and he left.
No, yeah. He was gonna do it, but Soo-hong didn't let him do it. So he beat up Soo-hong, and that he felt guilty,
and he
ran away. And he never came back.
Yeah, he never came back.
So Soo-hong took care of the mom.
Yeah, so he was a teenage and he ran, and so Soo-hong was still young and he lived with the mom. So forever Soo-hong hates Cha Tae-hyun. That's what he did to their family. And so that's why when Cha Tae-hyun was going through his trial, Soo-hong died, and he was that evil spirit holding the grudge against his brother. That's why he was floating around them. So
also, the mom is still alive. And,
she's still alive in part 2.
Yeah. So she's still alive. It's just that both the sons passed away. One of them passed away doing his duty, and the other one passed away because he was accidentally killed.
Yeah.
Well, he was actually murdered.
Yeah, so, but the first one was done, like, really well. You get to see, like, the actual trials that Cha Kang-hyun has to go through, and with, like, you know, the things he's done, and then they were like, oh, you know, they tried to wrong him, that he didn't do good.
Yeah, well, that's their job.
Yeah, but as his guardians, they have to find evidence to prove it that he is good. So they basically go. In the last trial, it's like he cannot be reincarnated because he attempted to murder his mother. And like that scene was just so heartbreaking. It made us cry.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Very heartbreaking scene, but I don't think I shed no tears for that part. It was later. But don't get the mistake. Cha Kang-hyun is not the main character of this movie or this series. The main character are the 3 guardians.
Yeah, that leads us to part 2.
Well, I'm gonna talk about the part I cried.
Okay.
Is at the end, because at the end of part 1, the Kang-hyun, he discovers, with the help of the king, right, of the hells, right, he discovers the truth about how Soo-hong died. And Soo-hong died because he was buried alive by his friends. So, with that, then he captures Soo-hong to take him to hell. Soo-hong then sees that Dio, I don't remember his character's name. In the movie.
We just know it's
We just know him as Dio. Dio from EXO. He has a mental health issue. He's depressed and he has a mental health issue. So Soo-hong really cares about Dio, and then he finds out that it was the lieutenant who got Dio in trouble. So Soo-hong gets pissed off, and he manifests a tornado, caused a lot of chaos. And so it ultimately leads to the part where I cried, because Soo-hong sees his mom. That's right, huh? That's how he got, yeah, okay. That's how he got angry. It was because the lieutenant pushed his mom down. Yeah. And so the part that made me cry was at the end when Soo-hong left to reincarnate. And he got one chance to go
see his mom one more time. And he asked to be dressed up in his judge suit.
Yes, and he
tell his mom.
He went and told his mom
he made
not to cry, not to worry, because he made it.
Pretty much, he went and sent a message for him and Cha Kang-hyun at the same time, that it was Cha Kang-hyun helping them, because Cha Kang-hyun did send money to them. He sent money to them like secretly.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's basically like, your sons are great, you know.
Yeah.
You wanted them, the oldest one, he sends you money, and look at me, Mom, I'm a judge now.
Right.
You don't have to worry about us.
And that part for me got me, because that part was very meaningful, and they did a really good job setting up that moment. Because all that, like, you were like getting pounded with just being wrong, you know? And then like, boom, they hit you with that moment, and you're just like, oh, it gets you. Which leads to part 2.
Yeah. So in part 2, it continues. Well, in part 1, it ends with them like having to take the brother to go through trial, and then it continues into part 2 where they have to take him through trial.
They also find out that he's a paragon.
Yeah.
Yes, because he met the requirement of being a paragon. That he was most of the time selfless. And he also qualified mainly because of his wrongful murder death.
Yeah, so these 3 were pretty much promised that these 3 guardians, that after they finish their 49th soul, they get to Yomra. They get to reincarnate. So they need to make sure that this one goes through so they can go reincarnate. And so, but at the same time, like, there's like the old grandpa who is like a missing soul that he needed to pass away, but he hasn't. Nobody has been and got him. Therefore, Cameron ends up sending the other two guardians to go get him, to like pretty much take him. He needs to go. And then when they end up going, they meet the god of house, which is played by Ma Dong-suk.
Yeah.
He's in this one.
Bad man.
Yeah, so he was once a guardian, and he
was their guardian.
Yeah.
In their former life, a million years ago.
Yeah, not a million, 1,000 years ago. It's only
1,000 years ago, yes. A million.
1,000 years ago. And so it was Hei Wang Mang, and Hei Wang Mang, and Itok Chu, who ends up being in there with them. So they
tall guy and the little girl.
Yeah, the extremely tall guy and the little girl. They end up having to stay on Earth, a human world, with them. So they pretty much humans can't see them, but they can make humans see them. So they end up making humans see them, and they end up staying there because they need to take the grandpa, and they need to get rid of this god of house. Yeah. And so while they are in the human world doing that, Karim is taking Su-hong and going through trials. And like every time he takes Su-hong's just like, I don't want to be reincarnated. I don't want to be reincarnated. He goes, why do you think like I don't want to be reincarnated? I have to go through so much just to live a happy life. I don't want to be like that anymore. So, he just takes him through the trial. And you learn what happened to these three, how they become guardians.
Right, and because Ma Dong-suk was their guardian, he knows about their past, and so he slowly throughout the movie, he slowly explains the past life for Hewama and Dokchun, the tall guy and the little girl. He explains their past to them, and they find out that they met in their past life, and that's why they are guardians together, is because they died together, essentially.
Yeah. And then you find out it is actually all three of them that were connected.
Yes.
So what is it? Karim, his dad was like this general who was like at the best at his war and stuff like that, and so Karim was his son. But when they went to fight war, his dad picked up another son and brought him in as his like step brother. And the dad favored this guy, and Karin has like this hate towards him. And so we end up finding out that the step brother is
adopted brother
is, oh my god,
Hei Wang.
There you go. Hei Wang Mang. And so after their dad died, Karim ends up sending Hei Wang Mang to become, what's the word? A bandit?
Well, he sent him to guard the borders.
Yeah.
So kind of like his soldiers, essentially.
Yeah,
but to guard the borders from the enemies.
Yeah, so basically after the dad died, the family separated and everything, and Karim, he goes and he gets promoted by the emperor and to go like, stop all these war, because his dad was like the best one and he's pretty much the next in line. And so he ends up putting like a mask on, and he goes and pretty much control his adopted brother. And his adopted brother has killed tons of people.
Yeah, people feared him. He was a really great fighter.
Because he always has a white like wolf.
He has a wolf pelt that he carries with him.
Around his neck. He wears it around his neck.
Wears around his neck. And so people call him,
the white cat.
They call him as what, the white...
The white cat something. It's the white cat.
Yeah, white cat.
That's
with
a
C,
with the
not
C.
a K. You guys will get that.
Yeah. And so, but he ends up meeting Dokchu, and she's this girl, and the village was dying, and she saved all the little kids. And so he ends up like not killing her when he's supposed to. And then he ends up becoming soft-hearted, and he ends up taking care of her and the kids that she's trying to take care of, and they spend their time together. And he's been like sending fake reports back to Karin, which he doesn't know was Karin, that he's doing really well at the border. Eventually, Karin finds out that he wasn't following orders, so Karin came, and Karin killed all his troop, his people, and Karin was going to kill him. And so he needed to save Tokchu and the kid, and so he told the kids and Tokchu to run, and then Tokchu told the kids to run, and then she didn't want to go. She wanted to stay with him, and that's when he gave her the scarf, and he finally told her the truth. I'm the one who killed your parents.
Yeah. So she got she led the kids away because Helmak and his people, his soldiers, went and killed her people. And so her and the kids ran away. He finds out later that he was the one who did it. So he lives with guilt for his life, for the rest of his life.
That's why he stays with
her. And
her.
He takes care of her. But it goes even deeper than that, in the fact that the reason why the father liked Helmak more is because he understands the value of life, of people life. And so Kangmin, the older brother, he doesn't get it. He feels like he's more straightforward about his war tactics, while while Helmak is more soft skilled, and he's about doing just enough and then following the dad's orders. And so Kangmin ends up killing Helmak.
But then Tokchu comes back and kills Karin.
Yep.
And then with Karin about to die, he kills Tokchu. That's how all three of them dies.
So all three of them dies.
And that's when King Yomra comes with Ma Dok-sung to come and get them. But Karin wasn't fully dead yet, and he made Karin a deal that I will make you into a guardian, and you have to pass 49 souls, then you can get reincarnated.
Within the next millennium.
Yeah, within the next millennium. But you will forever live with this memory that you killed them, But I will erase the other two's memory. They will be with you. They will be the other two guardians to go with you, but you will live with this memory. And so he took the deal, and that's why all three of them became guardians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's their story. So it's basically based off of the three guardians.
And they show that at the end they explain that even the King Yomra had connections with them. Yomra is actually their dad.
Yeah.
When they show at the end of the movie that when he was dying, the former Yomra made the deal with him that he would pick the dad to be the next king for the next millennium. And Yomra had accepted it with one condition, and that was the father accepted one condition, to continue looking like the former king, so that they wouldn't know. And so really it ties it that the reason why Kangmin got his deal was because the father
was Yomra
already Yomra at that time, and he chose to do that so
his son would learn.
Yes, exactly. So his son would see what he did wrong, you know. And obviously they don't know that. Only Yomra knows that.
Yeah, but Karin still doesn't know that the other two had got their memories because Ma Dok-sung told all to them before he actually passes. So they actually know, and they completed Su-hong's trial, and they were allowed to go and get reincarnated, but they just need to go back and bring the old man back.
Yeah, they chose not to.
They chose not to, and they're like, we'll come back and get him when the little boy goes to college. And therefore, Yuya Karim goes, okay, well, we have someone we gotta defend. And then...
Which is another paragon.
And then they're like, to? Tugu? Well, they get there, and you get Dio.
Yeah, crazy pussy Dio.
He's like a weirdo in the movie. And so they had to trial him. But that's the end of it for part 2. Yeah. It's kind of weird. We don't think they're going to be a part 3.
No, it's complete.
It's complete.
Because the main characters are complete.
Yeah.
It serves them no purpose to do a part 3 because you got the complete story for the main characters. I'm sorry for all the Dio fans. It's not going to happen because one, I'm pretty sure you guys don't
want him playing
some crazy
weirdo
guy.
Yeah.
2, it just wouldn't make sense to do a third one with those characters because they wouldn't have any backstory anymore that they can extend
because
the story on.
We basically got everything
Yeah.
already. Where we at first it's kind of like, okay, who are these 3 guardians? You know, they just came out and they're like the best guardians too. You know, and within that taking them, and so. And their story that explained it, so we basically got everything, and there's no need for a part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. And if you guys haven't watched it, please do watch the first one first before you watch the second one because you will be confused.
Part 2 wasn't really a tearjerker. Part 2 was more storytelling, and it wasn't really not like saying part 1 wasn't storytelling, but part 2 was just more action, more, you know, it didn't really have like a sad moment in it.
Yeah, so, but yeah, it's a really great movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I recommend anybody who wants to see an Asian film that is more modern and isn't a Chinese film. Definitely Along with the Gods is really good because it has like blockbuster like filmography. It does. It's not like the filming of it is not poor. It's really good quality. So you're gonna get a really good movie when you watch it.
Yeah, so we do recommend it.
Yeah.
And that is it for a review on Along with the Gods Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah.
So we'll review another movie when it comes out. See you guys next time.